Happy Star Wars Day. Well, it's basically Doctor Who Day, let's be honest. So today we have the release of Season 14, which is behind me. I'm going to be talking about that in a couple of seconds. But we also have the release of Series 12 today as well. The post for me has been pretty mental today because we've had Season 14, the Blu-ray for Season 6 I bought, and later on Series 12. So it's been a bit of a mess, and quite ironically my bank statement arrived as well. So I'm so happy to have this thing in my hand now because it has been such a long wait. I believe this was supposed to come out in April, I think, but then it got pushed back, and it's the same for the Series 12 thing. So I think this got pushed back because there was a mistake with Series 12 over there, which meant that everything had to get recalled and all that, and it meant that this one got pushed back. And then there were huge problems with how people couldn't get hold of it because they were sold out, because these things seem to sell out immediately at the minute, and I don't really have any hope of getting the other ones unless they do a second edition release. But last night, for example, I watched one of these go off from 130 quid to 160 quid in a minute. People are trying to buy this thing wherever they can. This thing is worth way more than I think it's actually worth because it's got this sort of collection stamp on it. We have a great box set here, though. So the artwork, for starters, it's going to be difficult with the mic in the way. The artwork, for starters, on this one is brilliant. Another great creation here. They're all brilliant, but it's why this box set is so popular. But we have this great artwork here from, I believe it's the Talons of Weng Chang, that episode. And then on the back, you have 6 episodes on this season, and you've got a whole bunch of behind the scenes stuff to talk about, which is definitely like the best bit of this box set for me. You know, I watch the episode and then I watch all the behind the scenes stuff as well, and it gives me a real insight. Right, so the first episode is called the Mask, the something of Mandragora. Of the Mask of Mandragora. I think that's right. And then we have the Hand of Fear, which is Elizabeth Sladen or Sarah Jane's final episode when she leaves. Then we have the Deadly Assassin, which is a great Dr. Master story. I've seen that one before. Then we have the Face of Evil, which I think is Leela's introduction episode. Robots of Death, which is just a brilliant episode of, robots. And then the Talons of Weng Chang, which is taken to be what I think is probably one of the most controversial episodes nowadays. Because of how it depicts sort of Chinese culture and all of that. These are obviously all restored because, well, moderately restored. There's only so much they can do with it, really. So they're all restored, and thank God they are, because I was watching The Happiness Patrol, and I was watching a whole bunch of other episodes the other week, and I watched them, and the titles, it was just painful to see the older titles, the graininess to it. This brings so much more colour into it. Right, actually, let's get into this thing now. So you slide off the main cover, and you're greeted with this, and then you have the back, which is a great TARDIS image there. Looks a little bit squished, but never mind. And there's the spine there as well. And then you open it up, because all of these open up like books. I do what I do normally, which is I don't take all the discs out and show you them. I just sort of take pictures of them and then overlay them. And we'll just take a look at the book thing. Was there even a point of putting a mic here? I'm just going to move past it constantly. So we've got this great artwork here, which they do just a beautiful job with this artwork. This is why I love these things so much, because the artwork is great. It gives me a new appreciation of the episodes. And then there's the artwork within here. I'll put a picture of that up because that's going to be quite difficult to get the angle. And then we have the booklet. Let's talk about that. Right, so the booklet, if it's like any of the others, which I don't think it's any different, it tends to stick to the same format. You've got this beautiful cover art, which is this cover art that's on the back there. And then you have basically like information, so it goes through all the episodes, talks about all the special features, gives you a little behind the scenes stuff, some of which is like talked about in the documentary parts themselves, but it gives you a nice little insight in a book form instead of on a DVD form. The collection is something that you just don't want to sort of just start now because it seems pointless when there's a whole bunch of them, and getting into the whole rat race of Them selling on eBay for hundreds of quid is stupid. I saw one for 1,000, but the fact that I have one, but it is actually extremely happy. It makes me extremely happy. The contents of these things are always great. You have great episodes, you have great behind-the-scenes stuff, great little insights. In fact, I was watching Series 12 yesterday, and there were great insights into Revenge of the Cybermen. And yeah, after talking about how expensive, how ridiculous it is to get these things if you already have them, for me, I don't. My collection consists of about 6, in terms of classic stuff. So the fact that now I can develop a more of a collection of it with very nice DVD, nice Blu-ray sets, is great. They are huge though, so I am going to run out of space on my bookshelf pretty quickly. Like I said earlier, the design for these things are great. The looks, the production of it, it's very well handled, and I can tell there's a lot of care going into everything that comes out. And it costs £40 for buying the individuals, so for example, you have 6 stories here, you will have to probably pay at least 30 quid. So it makes sense for something like this to come out and you can get it like this. But like I said before, these things are getting quite rare. There's a lot of people trying to get them, and I've been very lucky that I've been able to. A lot of people have had theirs cancelled, and I'm very grateful to have mine here. And it's been quite a long journey. Anyway, so thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe if you are new, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.